or at least half an hour. Okay, so here's the site. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Immediately, it's text first, which is bold.
Yep.
It's not the worst because it's like not much to look at in general. Like there's not much on the page. But anyways, so we'll go through here. Hi, I am an LA. I am a LA. I am an LA. I said an. I am a LA-based veteran game audio designer, bass player extraordinaire, and sound designer. I create soundscapes, music, and sound effects, and integrate them in interactive ways. Systems. Click or tap here to see my portfolio, and here to learn more. And this is, oh, it's a LinkedIn link.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize at first. It's like it's almost the same font as the word hi. It's just like in also, but I got it.
Yeah. To get a little already right off the bat, get a little picky.
Please.
Some of the bold stuff is links, and some of it's not. There's an inconsistency there.
Oh, yo, yes. That's a very good point. Actually, I didn't even occur to me. Yeah, totally down with that. Yeah, like LinkedIn, the very first thing you see is weird to me. But we'll carry on. About me, more about me. It's more.
It's a big about me.
Harold, this is bold, man. You can't do this. It's like, here's the thing. It's not that I'm not interested in this information. It's that you can't assume people will be interested in this information. And we kind of say again and again that if you get a very, very small amount of time from anybody who's considering you for their project or their studio or what have you, if you have like a minute of their time, how do you want to spend that minute? And if you spend that first minute of them reading your text and they're like, I move on, like it might not be the best. Whereas if you start with this thing right up top and say like, here's my sound design, or here's my music, or here's both, then when someone arrives on your page, they know exactly what to do and what you want them to see. And the thing is, it's again, we say brutal honesty all the time on this stream, but the brutal honesty is that no one will care about this about me until they have a reason to care about it. And they won't have a reason to care about it until they know that you are the guy for the job, kind of thing, or you're in the running at least. So yeah, it was probably worth putting reels like at the top, or at least before about. Like this about me after already an abridged about me. It's like it's a lot of about me. So, anyways, we'll carry on here. I'm gonna skip the about me as far as reading it, but we'll carry on into contact, email, easy. Check them out. Oh, I see. Like if you clicked reels, it's like check them out. The reels.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant. I was just scrolling down. Check them out. Like I thought you were like speaking in the third person. Like check Harold out.
When I was quickly scrolling through all the reels as well, I was like, oh, there's kind of no context for all these reels because I was going quickly until I stopped, and then I noticed the text below each reel.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a light font. If it was darker, I would have noticed it right away. So I'm kind of like,
yeah, true.
It's easy to miss that. And it's,
yeah, everything else is kind of like centered as well. It's a little more like if it's kind of off to the left, like even even zoomed in like crazy like this, it's like it's not very obvious. So I agree with that. The pure sound design, music design, and then just M10 Foley and synths. This little GIF inspired me to create the soundscape, heavier and soulful beats. Yeah, so like this is the thing too. There's a lot here. There's like, I've got redesign, Ripple Galaxy redesign, Ridiculous Fishing redesign. It's cool redesign, but Genesis Funk. There's like a lot of stuff to look at, and it's fine to have that, but it kind of goes back to the whole thing before. Like no one's gonna want to look at all that stuff unless they have like a very good reason to. Like if someone's reel, like the first thing they show me on the front page, like imagine this: you arrive on the page, you see a reel, it's like a minute long, it's great, and I want to know more. Then I'll go elsewhere and look for more and be like, oh, what else does this person have to offer, or what else they're working on, or whatever. But to have everything kind of separate, so I see the sound design's 41 seconds, music is 2 minutes flat. Uh, Foley stuff and synths is 114, then 102, then 12 seconds, then 39 seconds. Like, I don't know where you want my focus to be. We'll watch the sound design reel first and see if it is like a kind of a full encapsulation, but I kind of suspect it won't be.
Yeah.
Want to have a look?
Yeah, my first thought, like, it doesn't right now. It doesn't bug me of all that stuff being there because my focus really is on the first thing.
That's
my
true.
focus is like I'm going to watch the first thing, and then I'm going to decide if I want to watch the rest. And kind of the rest to me is like real easy that it's right there to see. So that actually doesn't bother me.
Yeah, word. I guess I was kind of jumping to the assumption that it was or that perhaps the first video was not a combination of everything. But if it is,
Right.
then this is great.
Yeah.
Because agreed. I would scroll down until I see a video and then press play, and maybe no more. Okay, want to do that? Do I need
All
to
right.
press mute?
So you're going to mute, and then I'm going to play.
Yeah. Do I need to mute myself for you? Is that like a polite
Yeah.
thing to do? Okay. All right. I will do that in 3, 2. r/living. Oh no! You know what? I don't have this. 1 second. 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 No. Close one. Close one. Oh man. One more time. Thanks a lot, guys. All right. Hey, Matt.
Hey.
Hey, man.
So.
Do you watch it through?
Yep.
Okay, so my suspicions were confirmed.
They were.
Yes. So this top video is not an encapsulation of the things that you have to offer, Harold. It is abstract sound design, which is cool, but is probably not. It shouldn't be the only thing that you're leading with, because if someone's coming to you for a given gig, and if you're saying you create, you're a game, the first thing you say is you're an LA-based veteran game audio designer. And then there's other things also, but that is the first thing you say on your page. And if the first video doesn't demonstrate that, that's a bit strange in terms of, well, not something that's strange. It's that it's not as effective as it could be in terms of someone arriving on your page and saying, okay, what's this guy have to do? Or what's this guy have to offer? And they scroll down, press play on a video, and that's what they get. There's nothing that conveys your interest in games there at all. It's like, it's a bunch of kind of interesting GIFs that are designed, and like I've totally done that myself, and it's really fun. But it's not necessarily gonna get you a gig.
Yeah, I agree. It was cool. I like the sound design of it, but there wasn't really any context of what it was, like where this was from, or what this was for. So it was cool sound work, but yeah, it doesn't point to me of like this is somebody who's done games.
True. So let's scroll down though, because I think that this can be saved. Let's look at music design. I'm not going to listen to the whole thing, but do you want to skip through it, Matt?
Sure.
Do you want to play it yourself or have me play it?
You just play it. Yeah,
okay,
that's
we'll
cool.
skip. Sure. So music redesign, some 3D animation stuff. That I've never seen before. That's cool. Yo, The Witness. So I'll stop right there, and I'll tell you that this music is absolutely inappropriate for the game The Witness, which is maybe a tricky thing, because it's like it's one thing to have footage that has no context and put music to it. But if you're claiming to be looking like if you're claiming to be interested and a professional in games, then you need to assume that people on your site will already have some kind of foothold in that community as well. And The Witness is like a deeply thoughtful and contemplative experience. And this music, if I close my eyes, it's like kind of loungy, I guess. So in terms of like a music redesign, does say redesign, didn't it? Yeah, music redesign. So music redesign says, if I were on this project, here's what I would do. And that choice, just like from a personal subjective opinion, that in terms of a redesign, it seems like that might not be the best option there. Because like Witness has no music for the most part, right? So you're forced to kind of say, okay, well, if there were, what would it sound like? And that's, I don't know. I'm also like actively playing The Witness right now, so I feel pretty passionate about this.
I want to comment. My biggest comment is there's no titles, so there's no context of what this is other than the one link at the very beginning that says redesign. There's no what any of these games are. There's no saying you redesigned it, that you redid the music for it.
Yeah.
So there could be some real error there of somebody thinking, hey, you've done The Witness.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay. So let's take a step back here for a second, because due to the fact that first video like wasn't quite the reel we're used to on Real Talk, we kind of skipped over the whole criteria thing. So I'll just say it really fast for those watching who might not be familiar as far as what we're looking for, or what anybody might be looking for. So here's the criteria here. We're looking for presentation, material selection, content quality, and distinction. Presentation involves your website. That's why we're looking over the website and saying, your links are black, so are these other words that are not links. That's part of presentation. What you see first is part of presentation, all these things. And then, of course, the presentation of the video content itself, the reels. So that's kind of what Matt's talking about, is that if you don't have these titles on the video itself, that presentation element is kind of absent. And you've got people who might not know The Witness and would hear that, or might have missed the fact that it says redesign, or might have, there's all these things that could be left up to assumption that you want to absolutely just quell. And you do that by putting titles that don't go away on every clip in your video that says what it is and what you did and anything that is necessary to know about that clip. So that's something you could do now to improve this, Harold. I'm just gonna skip through a bunch here to see. So Witness, sure.
Automated security.
Great.
Captain, the transport is ready.
This is your captain.
All right. So it's kind of it seems like it could be married a lot more than it is, in my opinion. I don't want to spend all the time talking about this music design thing, mind you, because it was not really our focus. But I think that the reel in general, it feels more like game footage with music on top of it rather than music married to the footage we're seeing.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about redesigns, redesigns are, the purpose of a redesign is to say, if it was me on this project, the game would sound like this. Or this is a fresh new take on this game or something. So if it's game footage is making frequent cuts and the music is not making frequent cuts, that kind of goes against the whole purpose, or the common idea that if I were on this project, here's what it would sound like. Because obviously it wouldn't sound like that if you're making frequent cuts, right? So have a longer clip and have music in that with sound design from the game maybe, or something, just to kind of marry the whole thing and sell the whole idea. But anyways, let's go down some more here. And we're jumping around a bunch here. So yeah, material selection also, it's kind of, this is the whole site now, mind you. But material selection is looking at the various things on your site and in your reel and what that says about you as an individual, as an aspiring professional, or as an active professional, Like if you got a bunch of mobile stuff in your reel, you probably want to work in mobile. And if you do want to work in AAA, you probably shouldn't have mobile things in your reel. That's like kind of what we always say. It goes on like that. So the content quality as well is it good or appropriate or whatever. And the distinction is, are you standing out in any way? So let's carry on down here to, okay, now we have M10 Foley and synths. Okay, we'll skip through a bunch here. Oh, it's still images. Okay. Okay, so it's like here's an image and it's inspired a soundscape, I guess. Cool. I want to see the ridiculous fishing one. Actually, before that, the previous Rebel Galaxy redesign came out. Here we go.
Turret engaged. Missiles inbound.
Cool. If abrupt. just sort of ends. Here we go. Here's next. This is sick. Okay, it's so much more on point as far as like what a redesign should look like. I really like that one. Yeah, so like that's much more in line with like this is this is a redesign. This is what the game would sound like if I were working on it. And yeah, they're so cool, right, Barney? Like the hook goes down and then comes back up and it's like reversing. That's so cool. Like that kind of imagination is what you want to show in your reel, because it shows just that. It shows imagination, and it shows creativity, and it sounded pretty good too, just in terms of like just technical coherence. It's like it's good all around. It's really cool. So like that is by far the strongest thing is in terms of getting a job goes. Like this kind of content is fantastic, but the kind of surreal or imagined soundscapes on the like with the still images or the GIFs thing or the music on top of like gameplay montage isn't going to be nearly as effective as this kind of thing. This says like, do they have game aptitude? All right, so that's my thoughts. I'm gonna stop ranting, and I'll skip the music at the end too. Any thoughts on the materials stuff, Matt?
Yeah, I thought the ridiculous fishing one was really good. I think the original game does the reverse thing. I could be wrong. So I think that's a bit of a copy of what was in the actual game.
I haven't played it for a long time, so
yeah,
like years.
But yeah, that was strong. It was like that was good. I feel like all these things on here are all like too short enough that could be cut together to be one reel.
Totally.
And then to be a more cohesive reel with it all together.
Yeah, so I think there's somebody else did like someone had like a painting they were designing. Remember that was like the fresco effect on it, like a couple weeks back. I don't recall who it was though. But it can be really cool to have like one part of your reel that is just here's like an imagined soundscape of this picture. Like that's really cool, and it's like. So Harold's telling me on Slack right now, the goal of Surreal was to show that I can make some sound design with almost nothing, and the ability to create, I guess. Yeah, that's great. That's super good to show.
I like that too. Like that was one of the first put together a reel was make a like sort of mini radio play, like make a little 30-second story in sound. Because I didn't have any gameplay footage, Back then it wasn't easy to get stuff, so I had nothing. So I was like, all right, I'll do a radio play. Like this will be cool. So like I'm totally down with the idea of that stuff like that. I think that's effective and cool. So
I mean, my application of Valve before I did Power Up Audio was like Phonopath. That whole game has no visuals, you know. So it's it can be effective, but it's just and actually I'll tell you what they told me in response. They said that they loved it, but they wanted to see more. They wanted to see more like gameplay kind of stuff. Like, what do you look like when you're making stuff for a game and like for this environment, that kind of thing, which makes complete sense. Okay, so good. So just to reiterate, Harold, take all these things and put your information at front and back, and like a header and footer kind of thing on the whole thing, and then put in your various bits here and there, and anything you want people to see in the minute they're spending on your site, put it in that video. And don't assume they have 8 minutes, because they probably don't. Very, very few people will listen through all of this stuff.
I find that too, while also losing the narrative when you do a long reel. A lot of times people just see a long reel, like the number. They see the number of like, oh, that's 8 minutes, and they immediately get turned off, and you kind of like start to lose them already.
Yeah.
Like they'll spend less time. They would have spent a minute, and now they're going to spend 30 seconds because they're like, no, I'm not going to watch 8 minutes.
True. I mean, you and I are pretty bad / good for it. But we're like, 4 minutes. What is this? Start freaking out right away. So yeah, 1 minute, man. Make it 1:00.
Yeah.
1 minute.
And if you have to cut things down to fit into that minute supercut reel, put the longer versions below. Like set it up the way you've still got it, but have it lead with the sizzler best of the best, and then have the longer versions of stuff like as well.
Yeah, because it's not like this is weak material. It's not like amazing. I mean, some is quite good, but like it's not like mind-blowing. But altogether, it'd be like pretty strong. It would show like a well-rounded individual with a lot of different skills and a lot of kind of aptitudes and imagination and so forth. So I think you could make this a lot better than it is. And put your about at the bottom too. Put it down here. Okay.
Lead with the reels.
Lead with reels. Even like high is worth putting beneath the reel, man. Go the main reel and then this high thing with your quick blurb, and then the rest basically.
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Let's do this LinkedIn really fast. LinkedIn. Chocobeam Sound Lab. Chocobeam.com. Whoa! Sound design demo. What is this angled video? Are you seeing this right now? There'll be a bit of a delay probably, but like chocobeam.com, this is amazing. I didn't know you could even do that. It's like an angled Vimeo link. This is nuts. It plays like that? What the heck? That's nuts. Okay, cool. What? So 2 sites,
Crazy.
Harold. Why do you have 2 sites? All right, well, something to consider. I went to chocobeam.com from your LinkedIn page. So if you're linking LinkedIn from your main page, then probably link back to it or something. Yeah. Anyways, so I'll close that one off. What is distinction first, Matt?
Yeah. It was not bad. You know, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's not like it's not mind blowing. It's not bad. I think that with a lot more organization of thought, it could be a lot better.
Yeah. I think the guts of it are there. It just needs to kind of get packaged up a little different, and then it would really sink.
All right, cool. Well, thanks,
Cool.
Harold. Thanks a lot, man.
All right. Thanks, Harold.
And I will. All right, so